𝗬𝗢𝗥 is down by more than half from its all-time high. If we measure it down to where we are now, we're down by about 58% from our high. I didn't measure that correctly, and we still probably have some more downside to go. I want to break this chart down for you because I've been 100% on point with the analysis I've given you guys with 𝗬𝗢𝗥 up to this point. Literally the very last video I told you that we're probably going to have to fall down to some of these areas of support, and since that video we fell by 46%, which I'm blocking right now, so let me move so you can see that. We actually fell by 46% after I made that prediction in the video, so that turned out to be completely on point. And I want to talk to you about where I think it could go next, because we are now consolidating at these lows and we're not at a good area of support. This is the big thing that I warned you guys about in the previous video, is that 𝗬𝗢𝗥 doesn't have good support anywhere on this chart because it hasn't found resistance on the way up. And this is a really important concept that people just don't think about until they kind of have to, until they realize that, you know, they've screwed themselves and they're in a position that they shouldn't have entered in the first place and whatever, and then they start educating themselves, and that's when you learn this kind of thing. But this is a really, really important thing to note, right? Is if you don't have you know, a long period of time, you know, multiple days, weeks, months ideally, to develop, to test, to set resistance, for example, then if you're crashing back down, you can't expect to find support anywhere because you haven't spent time developing resistance. And that's the problem that 𝗬𝗢𝗥 is finding itself in. Forget where we are now. Let's just understand what this chart means, okay? Because there's a lot of people that are inexperienced that are trading this, and this is your best chance to level yourself up and really kind of skyrocket where you are. And I want to throw a quick shout out, by the way, if you guys are watching this video on the main channel, come here to the top link in the description, watch all of my altcoin videos when they are published. This 𝗬𝗢𝗥 video on the main channel is going up late. It was already uploaded on the altcoin channel, which is this first link in the description. Here's the thing. If we look at this area of support right here, we know that this area made sense to find support because on the way up, 𝗬𝗢𝗥 very briefly managed to find a little bit of resistance. So naturally, old resistance flips to support. Perfect. Okay, makes sense. But it's also not surprising that the second time we hit this level, we broke it, because we only found resistance once. So this wasn't a particularly developed price area on the chart. And so the more times we test levels, we already know this, typically the more times we test levels, the weaker they get. Well, if this level was already weak because it only had one instance of being tested in the past, then yeah, if we manage to form a big bounce off this level, we're probably going to fall down with a lot of gravity, right? Like, you know, we're falling from a high place. There's probably going to be a lot of aggressive pressure in the market if we manage to go from all the way up here to all the way down here. Let me you know, put some numbers here to make this make some more sense. From the low, it was a 35% move up, and that happened within less than a day, right? So it's a big price jump there, big price jump. And to drop down again, 25%. Same time frame, within less than a day, okay, 16 hours. That's one full day cycle, you know, and 𝗬𝗢𝗥 had managed to lose a quarter of its value. I mean, these are big price drops. Let's you know, let's make sure that we're maintaining perspective of this. And so naturally, given that this wasn't a particularly strong area to begin with, we collapsed below it. Now here's the next area of support that we're in. This one's better. This one, we had one test here, 2 and 3 and 4. It was the 5th test of this range. Obviously, this exact level we didn't quite hit with most of these wicks, but we hit the range, and that's what's important. We hit it 4 times before finally breaking out on the 5th attempt, right? Over here, this was like one test, and then we broke out the second time, or if you're being generous, the 3rd time. So this has a lot more price history. And then not only did we manage to find resistance there, we also found support. So as far as price history goes, and this is the stupid part about this chart, this level is pretty strong, right? Even though, so that we can maintain perspective, we were only interacting with this level for 21 hours in 𝗬𝗢𝗥's entire fucking life up to this point. You know, so this isn't a strong area either, but it's stronger than the level we had before. So that explains what we're seeing. We managed to stop a really big sell-off, the same sell-off that I was warning you about in the previous video. It halved 𝗬𝗢𝗥. We managed to stop that sell-off at this exact level right here, and we've been able to stay above this level for a further 2 days. Right, so that really shows us that we've responded quite well to this area of support. But what we haven't done is we haven't bounced yet, guys. you know, we've just been trading sideways here, you know, and we're doing that within a bearish trend. And when we keep in mind that typically when we're trending, we will do anything. We will rally higher, we will trade sideways, we'll form whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter, you know. And you could kind of form a pattern that looks like this, you could form a beautiful you know, triangle that looks a little bit like this, I don't know, you know, but the end result is always that the market continues to drop down when you're in a downtrend, right? And here's a few examples. We trended down right here, we fought the trend briefly with this kind of upward rally, and then the trend continued. Okay, over here, very obvious example, right? We trended down, we formed a staircase step, and we continued to trend down here. We did it in a very small way. Trended up a little bit, formed that staircase step, continued to move down. Are we doing the same thing right now, where, you know, a lot of the time throughout this trend, you know, when we're trending down, our continuation patterns usually look like this. Is our continuation pattern going to be a flat step this time before we end up moving down, right? Because a lot of the time it can be a flat step, and we've seen many examples of this. If we look at this on the flip side, like from the bullish perspective, we've got a really nice example of doing exactly that. We trended up over here, and then we just kind of started trading sideways, right? We traded sideways within a range, and then we blew up again. This makes more sense if we zoom out. So if we put like the 1 day time frame, for example, you'll see what I mean a little bit more, right? Like we just kind of, you know, it's quite clear that the chart just paused. Let me just let's say the 8 hour time frame, because 1 day was a little bit too big. If we look at this on the 8 hour time frame, it's kind of the same. Like we're just, you know, we're moving up, and then we're just kind of sideways for a bit, and then we're continuing to move up. And now, again, it's the flip side, right? We move down, continuation pattern, move down, continuation pattern, quite clearly is indicating that we might be ready to sweep this low. And if we do fall below this low, that's going to open up some really nice trading opportunities. We've spent a long time above this line as far as 𝗬𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗚 is concerned. 𝗬𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗚 obviously is a very new coin. It moves very quickly. So 2 days at a support level is a very long time. Any subsequent test of this level, I must expect you know, to be dangerous, because as we keep testing levels, as I said earlier, they tend to get weaker. Okay, and this level wasn't particularly strong to begin with. So I'd be expecting the drop down to this next area of support. This is the very same TA that I gave you in my last video that I made up here before the whole crash even started. I said the same thing to you. I said that we've got support here. I said that we've got support here, but I said we're probably going to have to come down here. And that is still what I think. Now, the really, really good news is from our current price down to this area, it's actually quite ridiculous, to be honest. From our current price down to this price area, just to the top of it is a 27% move, and to the bottom of this range is a 32% move. So roughly speaking, a 30% drop from our current price down to this beautiful area of support. And this area of support is really strong compared to the other areas that we've seen. If we zoom in and take a look at why it's really strong, it's because we've had 1, 2, 3 attempts as resistance and rejections. I don't know if you'd count this as a rejection, but we certainly didn't blast straight through it. You know, so we've got, you know, 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth instance was the breakout. So that's good. That's a good number of tests. But what's the time frame? Well, the first time we tested it up to the point that we broke out, that was a 3-day gap. Now, a 3-day gap for 𝗬𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗚 is a really long time, which means that as far as price history goes for this shit coin, this is the best we've got. This is literally the best we have on this chart, unless we drop much lower. And that's what I want to talk to you about. You see, if we drop from our current price down to here, it's 25%, 30%, again, depending on how you measure it. That would be from our high. That would already be a 70% drop. I need to hide my camera. Sorry, I know you can't see this. That would be a 70% drop from our all-time high, which, you know, like for a coin to go through this kind of loss, like that's the kind of thing that kills a coin. You know, like a 70% drop is a big, big deal a lot of the time. If we look at what might be next, well, if we fail this area of support, then our next area of support is going to be down here. And that's a 53% drop away. From our current price, you know, that would mean that we fall from like 184 down to 85. I don't even know how the correct way I should be saying these numbers is. But anyway, you get the point. That would be a big drop from here. Quite disastrous. And that area of support is just this one right here. Okay, it's just this one right here. It's the same thing. So if we fail that, then it's really bad. Then our next area of support is going to be down here. Now we don't need to talk about this yet. It would be an 80% drop from where we are. We're already down by 60%. The coin would basically be dead. It would be really good support. The only instance that I expect Pepe to fall down to here would be if, you know, Bitcoin falls down to $21,000 and it's just like a really big fake out. Still don't think Pepe would die. The kind of traction Pepe has, that's the kind of thing that allows this coin to kind of hold in the top 100 at least for like a year or two. So I think this is actually going to stay a really good coin to trade. Don't necessarily, you know, I don't necessarily think it's going to pull a 10x, but certainly think it's going to be a good coin to trade. And that's why I'm really interested in it. You see, the thing is about all of these price action, you know, bits of analysis I'm giving you is that Pepe is actually like a really good coin as far as TA goes. Like, it actually respects levels pretty well compared to other shit coins, especially. It's really good. And that's what I quite like about it. Obviously, those of you that are interested in trading it, you can take advantage of BingX giving you access to this market, but also some really cool rewards. If you deposit 10K, you get $500 for free. If you deposit 2K, you get $100 for free. And by the way, this is limited to just the first 50 people. You also get further bonuses of over $5,000, but you can trade Pepe here, and you can do it without KYC, right? Many of you guys know that Bybit has introduced mandatory KYC now. This is not in effect for BingX. They don't have it, and as far as I know, they don't plan on requiring it anytime soon. So you've got a lot of markets available to trade here, including Pepe. You've got all the standard crypto coins that, of course, you are used to, but you've also got indices, stocks, forex, commodities as well, all available to trade. The meme coins, obviously, you know, you've got Pepe. I don't know why Pepe is not in this list, but you've got Pepe here as well. You know, you've got everything that you could want to trade on this platform without KYC. So that is really very cool and much and well worth checking out. You can find it with this link in the description down here. No KYC and over $5,000 in bonuses. So if you like having a lot of options, this is going to be something to check out. I'm continuing to use Bybit. You guys know the deal. I'm using both, but you know, I am interested in having many options, and I like it when exchanges don't require that kind of thing, because it means more privacy, and that is always really good. So there we go. Really nice drop here. Really nice. This would be like a nice kind of 20-30% kind of position to play. I do not expect any support between, you know, this yellow line and this green box. So I think it's going to be a really nice position. But the even better play would be going long. And the reason I think this would be a better play is that even if we're going to keep trending down, we're probably going to get a bounce off this level, at least something. We're hopefully going to get a back test. That is something we have not done yet. We kind of did it here. Like, Pepe formed a bit of support here, confirmed it as resistance, and then came back up for resistance, right? And that was really nice, but we didn't do it on this occasion yet. So we might, right? Like, this might be resistance, and that is definitely a possibility that I'm open to. But bottom line, we are still trending down. And unless Pepe pulls something very impressive out of the hat, it's going to have to fall down to this next area of support that I've got drawn out for you on the chart already. This looks like a really nice area anyway, so I like to see you know, the possibility of Pepe dropping down there, and if it does, I will definitely be very interested in going long. I've already shared details of how I plan on trading this with VIP members. Here's another chart that I want to share with you in just a sec, but I've already shared those details of what I want to trade with VIP members, and I'm going to continue to do that as I develop my positions in this space. Here is one chart that I wanted to share with you guys, which actually potentially outlines a really nice possibility for Pepe, where it's still in the same classic falling parallel channel that Pepe has formed before really big pumps, right? Here's another one right here. And it's the same thing I was talking to you guys about previously when I was drawing out these little staircase steps, right? When I'm talking about a pattern that looks like this, and then we form the step, and then we drop down. It's the same thing, guys, when we're trending up. You form the same thing. We trend up aggressively, we fall down a little bit, nothing crazy, and then we trend up aggressively again. Sometimes the steps are flat, but it's all the same. We're still forming that same kind of staircase to heaven, and that is something that we managed to form right here. And if you really stretch yourself, you could say that that's what Pepe is in right now. Certainly a possibility. and it's not something that I would rule out. If that is the case, we have kind of broken out of it already, and the reason that I have put this at the end of the video is, I mean, first of all, we've got a big resistance cloud here, so I don't think 𝗢𝗢𝗥 is going to be able to handle this particularly well. But more importantly, I don't even care about the Ichimoku cloud. More importantly, it's like, look at the breakout here. We did not have an explosive breakout. We broke out, and then the price just slid lower. Like, okay, it didn't fall below the support level, but that's not impressive when the support level is so slanted downwards. I don't know what the correct word is there, but like the support level is so heavily bearish, I guess. I don't know. It's just not impressive. It's all it means is that it's falling down kind of slowly instead of breaking out like it should be. So yeah, it did break out, and yeah, it's broken out for a while now, but it's clearly not done anything with it, and it's got a lot of resistance up ahead. And that's why I haven't spoken to you too much about the possibilities of 𝗢𝗢𝗥 breaking out, because I just don't think that's going to happen. If it does, yeah, resistance up here and the next resistance up here at 306, but I'm not betting on that right now. I don't think that's going to happen. But there you go. I really hope you have enjoyed this one. If you have, you know exactly what to do. Check it out on BingX to get your beautiful, beautiful bonuses available to you. Again, super cool, very, very high ratio rewards right here. $2,000 and a $100 reward. Just free money that you can throw right back into the market is well worth checking out. Over $5,000 of other bonuses ready for you to claim, and access to a very wide variety of markets, including stocks, indices, commodities, without KYC. Go fucking get it, legends. That is a very, very cool offer. And of course, if you are interested in Bybit, you already know the deal. I'm staying on Bybit myself. I'm trading on both now. You can check it out with the link in the description. Bybit, being Bybit, is going to give you $30,000 in free cash that you can trade with when you start trading, when you make your deposit and start trading. So that is really, really cool. You can check them both out with the links in the description down below. Make sure you are watching this on the 𝗬𝗙𝗙𝗧𝗍 Daily channel. Again, you got this video very late if you watched it on the main channel today, so don't let that happen again. Make sure you are subscribed so that you catch this content right when it's fresh, right when you want to watch it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.